Perhaps one question that people have asked me over time centers around leadership. Questions like, am I a leader? How do I lead? What if I don't have the ability to lead? And stuff like that. And this has made me to wonder why people often think like that. So for today's episode of Leaders Arise, I've made up my mind to discuss on some of these things around leadership. In fact, I have titled this sharing, Leadership Made Easy. I believe everybody should get into the business of leadership. But unless you find it as easily as I want to put it today, you might think that leadership is something that is only meant for some people. So welcome to Leaders Arise. So let's discuss today Leadership Made Easy. This is that platform where we talk about leadership. All right, we want to simplify leadership for you, and we want to help you to apply leadership to whatever it is that you do, with a view to helping you get better and, of course, fulfill your God-given destiny. So once again, welcome to Leaders Arise. My name is Demola Awoyele. So you may want to write this statement down if you have somewhere to jot that it is not leadership if it is not simple. One of the reasons for leadership is simplification. What some people call leadership is complex. Leadership is needed to reduce or simplify complex situations, complex stuff to simple stuff. And that's how you know a leader. A leader simplifies what is complex. How do you know? I don't know what to call it, but there are some people that are very mouthed, they are very loud, they are very bogus, and they think that that is leadership. How do you know you are leading? Complex things are becoming simple. In fact, they normally say in the world of academics that the genius of a teacher, or when you say somebody is genius, is that that person can simplify something complex. How do you know a genius of a mathematician? You bring a complex situation to that person, and he simplifies it. That reminds me of those days while I was still in junior school. Sometimes we have to simplify this complex equation. Sometimes I end up making it more complex for myself. I know some of you must have found yourself in that situation before. That something that was quite a little simpler before, by the time you said you were done, the thing has been made complex. You don't need to wait for the teacher to tell you your mark. You didn't go anywhere because you ended up making complex what you are asked to simplify. And that's the way some people do actually. You ask them to lead, they make it more complex. You ask them to do stuff, they make it more complex than it actually was. And that's why I want to give you that nugget, that it is not leadership if it is not made simple. Whether in the family, whether in the place of work, whether in business, in ministry, even in the nation. For example, our nation, Nigeria, we seem to have a complex situation in our hands. That's why we need leadership. We don't need men and women that will make things complex again. That is why sometimes we don't need people that will tell us where our problem is, how this has happened, how that has happened. We need people that will tell us, fine, this is your problem, but these are the solutions that I'm bringing to bear. And those solutions must be simple. Simple does not mean that it's not strong. Simple does not mean that it is to be overlooked. Simple simply means it can be understood, it can be applied. Simple simply means you don't need to be a genius. That's one thing about leadership. A leader can be a genius, quote and unquote, but by the time he displays leadership, just anybody can get on board what he's doing. Take, for instance, the mobile phone you are using. If you open that mobile phone, some complex stuff are there. That's why the the phone company will not need to go take you through the whatever it is that is in that product. They just want to tell you how to use. That's why they call it simple to use. You don't need to understand integrated circuits for you to be able to operate a mobile phone. Are you following me, somebody? So that is why it is leadership. So in the leadership, the leader or supposed genius has worked on the complex part of the whole process, and it delivers the simple solution to your hands. And that's what our world really needs today. We need men that will go through the complex stuff, make it simple. Whether in business, in ministry, in career, a pastor goes through the complex stuff in the Bible and make it simple enough for the members to understand. That's why people attend church. You don't attend church just because you want to exercise your brain and all of that. When you attend church, you have read something at home. So when you come to church, pastor just helps you to make it simple. But if you come to a church and rather than making stuff simple, the pastor is making it complex, you have not attended church. The same thing in business. If I feel like telling some of us who are in business that if you want to really make money in business, look at what is complex and make it simple. For example, in some cities, transportation is complex. In some cities, make it simple. Of course, let me use the example of Bolt, all right, and Uber and some of these transport apps and all of that. They've just made transportation simple. That's why they are making their money. You don't have to stay under the heat of the sun to get yourself a vehicle to convey you to your next destination. Just as I'm sitting here, I can pick up my phone, just press 1, 2, 3 buttons. Before I know it, I receive a call, I'm close by, or I'm outside of your gate. I just stepped out of here, get into the vehicle, I'm already where I'm going. Then they've solved the problem of arguing about transport fare. So you discover when you get to the vehicle, you are not asking how much is the fare, how much am I paying? No, you will see the whole thing yourself. You can plan your transportation. That's why they are making it in business. They have made something complex. They have made it simple. They have made something complex. Check every industry today. You will discover that the leaders in those industries, they really helped us to simplify complex stuff. Social media, for instance, example, Facebook, communication could be very complex. In fact, one of the reasons why some of us like WhatsApp, for instance, is they have made chat to be simple. In those days of SMS, we still use SMS today. You send SMS to somebody, you are waiting when is he going to reply you. I just love to be on WhatsApp for it. I'm not saying WhatsApp is the best. There are other platforms. All right? Just get on WhatsApp. I'm talking, you're replying. In fact, it's as good as we are talking. We are using voice. Of course, there's voice note there. But can you imagine me send you an SMS and I'll wait for you to reply? No. That was something complex. Even though that was simple compared to what was obtainable several decades ago. But a leader looks forward to making simpler even what is already simple. And it may not be as easy as I'm saying it, but that's the genius of a leader. So if you want to gain leadership anywhere, just look at whatever is existing and ask yourself, how can I make it simpler? Look at education, for instance. We can still make learning simpler. Of course, some people are doing that already. People are coming up with learning tabs that a child can just sit beside or sit beside the tab and just press one or two things. The lessons are there. People are really doing great stuff, but that is not the best yet. Don't think that everything is simple enough. No. Things can be simpler. Ministry, what have you? So if you can really work at making complex things simple or even simple things simpler, you are going to emerge as a leader. And that is what I really want to talk about all through my next couple of episodes. I have chosen to title it Leadership Made Simple. But I want to speak to that word simple today, which I have actually spoken to. That a leader is somebody that makes something complex simple. A problem is somebody that makes something simple complex. Now, some people, they are not leaders, they are just problem. So you may want to ask yourself, am I a leader or am I a problem? Like we have taught you on this platform, that you are either a problem solver or you are a problem yourself. There's no midway. Either you are a problem solver or you are a problem yourself. So if you are not solving problem in your sphere, you are actually part of the problem. All right. So a leader is somebody that solves problem. And the problem is solved when complex things are made simple and when simple things are made simpler. But guess what? Like I said, if you make simple things more complex, you are the problem. And that's how problem is created. When something simple are made complex and people can't wrap their mind around it, they begin to grapple with it. And that is where we really have the problem. And that's where I'm going to stop today. And I want to challenge you. Get into your space. Like I said earlier, this might not be as simple as I've said it. But that is what leadership is calling for. And that's why leaders are thinkers. If you cannot think, you cannot exercise leadership. Because it takes thinking to reduce complex things to simple things. But when people that you have reduced it for want to apply that thing, for example, this is my mobile phone. I don't have to think before operating this mobile phone. That's why my children can operate this. They don't have to think much. Of course, there's a little thinking that, but can you imagine me having to rack my brain before I can use this mobile phone? Then they've not given me a solution. They're giving me a problem. Can I shock you? Those that made it mobile phone, a lot of thinking went into it. To develop the ICs that are there, to develop the application, a lot of stuff. They thought a lot. Thinking went into it. So a leader is somebody that does the thinking and delivers the solution to people. And listen to me, if you can do that, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to be rewarded. So leaders make complex things simple. I hope I have been able to give you some nuggets that would help you in whatever it is to do. I want to challenge you wherever you are. Look for how to make simple what is complex and how to make simpler what is already simple. Whether in your place of work, in your business, in your career, in your ministry, in your church, in your family, among your friends, and what have you. My name is Demola Awoyele, and this is Leaders Arise. I look forward to having another impactful moment with you at the next episode. Go right there, be the leader you are meant to be, and bye for now.